Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 21st tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to check out the logical AND operator. Now C provides us three logical operators. AND operator is one of them. The other two are the logical OR operator and the logical NOT operator, and we'll be checking them out too in this course, but in this tutorial we're just going to see the logical AND operator in action. Now, when do you use the logical AND operator? You use it when two logically independent conditions have to be satisfied simultaneously, right? And I'm going to demonstrate it to you in this tutorial. And for the sake of that, I have created a file and I've saved it. It's called logical_and.c. On line 1, I have a comment that says demonstration of logical AND operator. On line 2, I have a header file. I've declared the main function and I also have the curly braces so we can type in our code. And what I'm going to do is I'll create a variable, then I'll ask the user to enter a negative number that's perfectly divisible by 2, and the input I'm going to store in the variable's location in memory, and then I'm going to check using the logical AND operator, obviously, whether the input is valid or not, right? So it's going to be a very simple program to understand, and let's get started. So to declare the variable, I'll have to type in int space a. We're going to create an integer type variable. The name of the variable here is a, and now I'm going to use printf to display a message to the user on screen instructing him what he's supposed to do. So enter a negative number that's perfectly divisible by 2. I could have just written enter a negative even number, but that's okay. I'll put a colon at the end, make things neat, and then I'm going to use scanf to store the input in the location of the variable in memory, and within double quotes I'll have to use the %d format specifier because a is of integer data type, and then I'll have to type in the address of operator and the name of the variable, which is a, put a semicolon to terminate this statement. And we're going to use if, obviously, because on the basis of what has been entered we want to do something, right? We will have to display messages to the user on screen about what he's done. So if will be used, but what is going to be the test condition within the parentheses? Now this is interesting. So let's just dissect this statement into conditions. So if you pay attention, then we have two conditions. We have to satisfy two conditions. The first one is that the input should be less than 0, right, because we need a negative number. And the second one is that when you divide the number by 2, the remainder of the division operation has to be 0, right? So that's what you mean when you say that the number has to be perfectly divisible by 2. So the first condition is the number has to be less than 0. And the second condition is that when you divide the number by 2, and here we'll have to perform the modular division because we're interested in the remainder and not the quotient. So in case you guys don't know what modular division is, I've recorded a tutorial on it so you can watch it. I don't know the number, I guess it's 8th or 9th, but I don't remember. You can check the playlist. But it's the percentage symbol, it's not the slash, it's the percentage symbol, and when you use it with a number, it gives you the remainder of the division operation, right? So a %2 equal to 0 would check if the remainder when you divide the value that's stored in a by 2 is 0 or not, right? So that's what it's going to check. But we cannot have the test condition just like this, right? Because C won't know what it has to do with these two different test conditions, whether it has to see if the first one is true, or whether it has to see the second one is true, or whether it has to see whether both of these test conditions value to true. So we'll have to inform C in some way that we need both these test conditions to give us positive results. And the way you do that is by using the logical AND operator, and it's nothing but just two ampersand symbols written consecutively, right? So this is the AND symbol or the ampersand symbol. We also use it, we also call it the address of operator when you use it singularly, but when you use two ampersand symbols consecutively, we call that the logical AND operator, right? So this is what it is, and let's have a printf within the block of if, and this printf would get executed only if both the conditions would evaluate to true. And let's display a message like good job, if that's the case. and we'll also have to have an else block, and that's going to cover the cases when the input is not what we're looking for. And we'll have printf in the block of else, and this one's going to display a message like incorrect input, right? We put a full stop in there and a semicolon to terminate this state. Now save the file and let's see the output first, and then we're going to discuss what has happened. So I click on build and run, and I see this output window, and I see the message enter a negative number that's perfectly divisible by 2. So if I enter a positive number, right, or well, let me enter a negative number first. Let me enter negative 85, right? And when I press the enter key, I see the message incorrect input, right? And let's run the program again, and this time I enter an even number like 4. I press the enter key again, I see the message incorrect input. But if I run the program and if I provide negative 46 as the input, now 46 is an even number and negative 46 is a negative number, so you know, basically this is correct input. And if I press the enter key, I see the message good job. So what I wanted to get across to you guys is that when you have the logical AND operator between two test conditions, then it becomes necessary for both those test conditions to evaluate to true, right? So if you just have a negative number, then this would result in a true value, but this won't, right? And if you have an even number, but if the number is positive, then this would work and this won't. But the logical AND operator makes it necessary for both the conditions to result into a true value so that the if statement can work, right? So this program was very simple. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to check out the logical OR operator. Till then, take care of yourself, and I'm going to see you soon. And please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already. Thank you.